I'm Roger from Smartbox Self-Storage, the owner of the business. We're in our newest Leicester site. We've been open 2 months now. This was, I guess, our first experiment with, well, what if we're in a really prominent location, in a really busy area, building a model that we can replicate. If we can make this work here, in terms of the team we pulled together to build it out, and then how we develop it and sell it locally, then we've got a model that we can then replicate in other places.
Hello, I'm Martin. I'm Senior Sales and Account Executive at Cuboid. So at this site, we built the storage units, 2-tier mezzanine, for all the fire protection, floor painting, electrical package, and oversaw the installation of the access control system. So the main challenge with this building was the critical heights for each floor. The building wasn't particularly tall, and the client had a requirement that we had to put in a 2-tier mezzanine. He had to get 3 floors. From a client's perspective, to get the revenue he needed from the building, it had to be met.
Fitting a building out like this, you know, it's not a purpose-built building, so there are things that happen. There are things that are unexpected when they're fitting the mezzanine floor or the layout. And certainly Jason, who was project managing this for Cuboid, it was very much, there's an issue here, you ought to know about it, and this is what we're going to do to fix it. Is that okay? I know it's an age-old sort of cliche, but that can do sort of, we're going to sort this out and deliver it for you, and it's our responsibility to do that. That was terrific and something I haven't always experienced elsewhere.
So being a customer-focused business, obviously we have to be adaptable to the requirements of the customer. You know, we don't like to push people into corners, we don't like to pigeonhole people. Yes, we have our solutions and we put our solutions forward, but ultimately the client drives a lot of the decisions that move forward, and the client has to. It's their project at the end of the day. We just have to kind of be on that ride with them. On that note, we were able to work with the No-Key team and deliver that solution to allow the customer to have continuity across his sites. But there are potential issues with collaborating with a number of parties, but our operations team are due diligent from the outset and ensure that a strong plan is put in place and everyone's aware of exactly what needs to be done and when. The result of that is just to lead on to a successfully delivered project that the client's happy with.
Hi, I'm Ella. I'm from Ludiger. We've been established for over 75 years and we manufacture bespoke goods lifts to suit our clients' needs. We've supplied our Escorter goods lift, which is a goods lift with an attendant. It means that the customers of the self-storage can travel with their goods up to the next floor rather than putting it in, sending it away and then trying to find it once they go up the stairs. But it completely opens up the top floors of your self-storage unit and makes it a lot more viable that your customers will actually be able to utilise those units fully because they will be able to take those goods up with them. So there's no requirement for a pit. We can either have a small recess or we can supply a ramp which can be in the same lovely colour as the doors. It's just a really good product. They're very robust. They're all designed in-house. They're all open protocol as well, and it's German design, so I think we all know what that means. Ultimately, the self-storage market has matured. You are going to have customers arriving at your facilities now expecting to be able to get in the lift with their goods. They're not going to expect for a goods only where they have to travel up the stairs and meet their goods at the other end.
My name is Matt. I work for Active CCTV. We've been operating for 25 years, supplying and installing CCTV systems all across the UK. So we've been working within the self-storage industry now for about 4 to 5 years. Becoming one of the leading suppliers within the self-storage industry. I can't believe just how much it's expanding to, how many more people come into it, but just how full they get very quickly. I've met people who've just started up for the first time who think it's a bit of a risk, see them a year later and it's one of the best decisions they've made in their life. So it's fascinating for me to watch. So we use normally like a HD turret, similar to the ones we've got in this building for internal self-storage. On the outside, we've got Hikvision 8 megapixel IP colour view turrets, so they stay in colour at night. They've got an AI capability which can give alerts to mobile phones, a monitoring station that can pick up any human or vehicle detection within certain zones at certain times of the day, personal to the company if it's a 24-hour site, but you still want to know who's coming in. Same with the horn speaker, so there's a horn on the front. If and when someone is there, they can dial in, you can actually use it on your mobile phones. We will then hook that up to a router that then can connect to the net, which gives you the access on your app, on your phone, so you can keep tabs on who's coming and going through your site, really.
And we had one just last week where a customer literally, I saw them make the booking, we get a notification through. I think it was 7:30 at night, they were at the gate, they scanned our QR code, they made a booking, they then opened the gate with their app, got to their unit, unloaded their stuff and left the site. So we're all within 30 minutes, they'd booked a unit, moved in and left the site. Now, that's got to be almost as frictionless as you can get from a customer experience. Now that's not for all customers, but our model is just that very simple, responding to customers where they want to be met and getting it done really super efficiently.
Yeah, I think this project is showcased that you can collaborate with a number of third-party companies, all experts in their field. As long as there's a plan from the outset, it isn't an issue, and the actual delivery of the project speaks for itself. It's such a fantastic facility.
We all have to kind of work together, otherwise then you start creating problems for each other, or you're in each other's way, working around each other, especially when you've got such a big project on.
By dealing directly with the suppliers, it's a seamless deal to go with them. You get a much better price, and we're happy to work with each other in the background.
What was important to us as well was that actually they knew each other in the industry, so they could pick up the phone and go, look, I'm having issues with getting a cable run in to get this CCTV, or the lift installation is not going as we planned, and they could actually talk together and solve those problems without coming back to me and saying, Roger, this is a problem. Can you speak to Q-Board and get them to solve this lift installation issue? These guys know each other well in the industry, they're bigger businesses, and they were able to work together to solve issues that come along in any project. It's inevitable. The contractors that we used here, almost certainly we'll use them on the next project because we're very confident about the product they're delivering and the way they work together. So yes, it's kind of, we've got the go-to template now for building out these sorts of projects, and we hope to do that a number of times over the next few years.